This meeting is being recorded.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining. Today's a little weird today. Zoom is down completely. I was trying to do a Zoom update like I always do before I start Zoom. It's an old, tech guy habit. I always update all my software before I use it, reboot my computer every day. And Zoom just wouldn't connect. I thought it was maybe my account or cleared cookies, uninstalled Zoom, and then I looked on the web, and I guess Zoom is completely down. So I'm using WebEx today. I use WebEx once in a while, but generally I've been using Zoom every day for many, many years, for over 5 years now. So it's never went down, never had a problem, but I guess Zoom is down and we're all experiencing the same thing. Um, but yeah, welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays. Thank you for joining me. Congratulations. Give yourself a round of applause. You made it. You're here. You're here. I'm so happy you're here. Good for you. You guys keep showing up every week, and that's important. Why do we come to Wake Up Wednesdays? We come to Wake Up Wednesdays midweek every week to lift our heads up, to wake up. And the way we do that is we check against our GSD list, our Get Stuff Done list. So every single day, our discipline is we open up a new sheet of paper and we write all of our outcomes that we're working on for the quarter on the left-hand side. And then we write our to-dos towards making progress towards those outcomes on the right-hand side. If you're a list guy like me, you get excited, you get pleasure out of crossing off those to-dos. But if your to-dos aren't mapped back to those outcomes, then what are you doing all day? You say, well, Mark, I had 5 meetings today. I had 7 meetings today. Today just felt like a blur. And you're talking about the same stuff over and over and over again, but you're not making progress towards your outcomes. And that's what we want to do here. We want to reinvigorate one another. We want to recalibrate, recharge, make progress towards those outcomes. So this week, we're going to talk about an article that I posted in the group chat like I do every week. And I'm just going to pull up my notes here to make sure that I give you all of the great detail from the article. And as always, please feel free to comment. Please feel free to let me know what you think about the article. Tell me it's trash if you think it's trash. That's totally fine too. The article was entitled New Team, Same Old Problems. Okay. And this article talks about you were just handed the keys to a new team. Maybe you just got promoted. Maybe you were parachuted into this new team. Maybe your boss just took on some new work. Maybe you're new to a new organization. Whatever the scenario is, you were inherited a new team. And to make it even more complicated, you've been told that this is a team of primarily low performers, or there's a lot of low performers in this team. And you start getting nervous and you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And what do you do? So we're going to talk about the top 4 things that you can do with the do's and the don'ts. And like I promised you in the beginning of the year, this year, we'll talk about an AI spotlight that can help you with this. All right. The number one thing you're going to do is you're going to say to yourself, I'm going to do some diagnosis before I prescribe anything, before I make any judgments. And the way you're going to do that diagnosis is you're not going to judge your boss and say, your boss is throwing this on my lap. And you're not going to say, oh, this is my luck. I just started a new team, a new organization, and I inherited this low performing team. You're not going to do any judgments. And the other thing, which is contrary to what I wrote in the article, you're not going to read their past articles. You're not going to read their past performance reviews. What you are going to do is you are going to say your boss probably inherited a lot of work and they're giving you a subset of that. They're spreading out the love. So your boss isn't dumping this on you, they're spreading it out. And you should feel honored that they did that because they're showing that they trust you. The reason why I say that you are not going to read past performance reviews is because you don't want to read about how someone badmouthed these people in the past. You're going to judge for yourself. So the first thing is you're going to schedule one-to-ones with every single member of the new team. And you want to understand them and you want to take really good notes about what it is that they want, what it is that they're working on, and what their background is, so that you can assess their roles and responsibilities and clarify expectations. Don't assume that they are low performers. Don't assume that they're lazy. You want to see for yourself. So the tool here that you can use is Zoom's AI companion. Zoom's AI companion is going to spit out an automated summary. So if you inherit a team of 20, 25 people, you don't have to worry about summarizing all that information. You can have Zoom's AI companion summarize that for you. The second thing you want to do is you want to reset and set the expectation and clarify the mission. So what you want to do is say, okay, team, our mission is to do X. Our mission is to modernize our technology stack, upgrade to the cloud, move towards AI, large language models, increase our customer satisfaction, automate our workflow, bring this new product to market, whatever it is, you want to set what that new mission is, and you want to define those quarterly goals with measurable results. You want to make sure that you define the roles and responsibilities for everyone, and you say, this is what you're accountable for, this is what I'm accountable for, and you want to make it super clear. You don't want to assume that this new team understands the vision. You don't want to assume that they know that they need to do things like do better. And you don't want to reward effort over results. Putting in a lot of effort is good, but putting in all that effort without getting results is just like we do in Wake Up Wednesdays. It's just like crossing off your to-dos all day long without making progress towards your outcomes. So what's the spotlight for this? Your AI tool spotlight is Microsoft Copilot. You can use Microsoft Copilot to draft and communicate clear OKRs, objectives and key results, roles and responsibilities, and create visual scorecards to help keep teams on track. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to coach. You're not going to condemn them. You're going to coach them. You're not going to condemn them. Okay? People don't grow under pressure. They grow under guidance. A little caveat here. There's probably 1 to 2% of the population that when you put these folks under extreme pressure, they rise to the challenge and they're sort of the diamonds that are created under that pressure. That's a very small subset of the population. For the rest of us mere mortals, we grow under guidance. So you want to make sure that you're coaching people and that you're investing in them. You want to have regular feedback cycles with them, and you're asking them how things are going as well as coaching them. And you want to celebrate small wins to rebuild team morale and build momentum. So you literally want to start off by telling them, I know you guys are superstars. I know you guys are A-plus players. You don't want to tell them that I've heard you're low performers. I've heard bad things or I read bad things in the reports. You're not even going to read those reports. You're not going to shame anyone. You're not going to micromanage anyone. If you micromanage the team, what you are saying is you're saying, I'm afraid, and because I'm afraid, I'm going to micromanage you. And you're just going to promote a further environment of fear. So don't micromanage. Don't expect change to happen overnight. It's going to happen slow and steady. You're going to create a 3, 6, 9-month plan for everyone. So it's going to happen very slow over the quarters. And you want to identify in these coaching sessions, are there any actual toxic behavior? Is there any toxic behavior happening? Or is this a toxic manager that they had from the past that's poorly labeled these folks? Most folks with the right leadership, coaching, and guidance will become A players because they will. Okay, I guess Zoom is coming back up. That's maybe what that sound was. Most people are going to follow in your lead and follow in your footsteps. So if they had a toxic manager in the past, maybe that's why they have some toxic traits now. So you want to lead by example by showing them that you don't have any of those behaviors and traits, and you don't condone that kind of behavior. So what is an AI tool that you can use for this? Atlassian's Rovo. You can use this to automate your retrospectives and feedback sessions, as well as goal setting sessions in real time with the team. All right. What's the fourth and last thing you're going to do as you're executing on these 30, 60, 90-day plans? You're going to know when to rebuild. So just like if you're throwing the keys to a house or you're throwing the keys to a jalopy, a lemon of a car, Instead of looking at that and saying, oh, I just inherited this crappy house and I need to do this, that, and the other thing, I should just sell it. You would feel really bad if someone took the keys to that house, they renovated the new house and they made it completely beautiful. So don't just assume that the entire house is bad. Maybe you need to renovate the kitchen, maybe you need to renovate some of the rooms, but the bones and the structure of the house is good. And it's the same thing with a team. If you inherit a team of 20, there might be two people, there might be 1-2% of the population that they got to go. And that's just how it is. That keeps an environment competitive, that keeps an environment healthy. Just like if you were to prune or trim a tree, you want to keep things healthy. And there's going to always be a small subset of the population that they just need to go. Maybe it's not right for them. But the majority of the population does not need to go. They need proper coaching. So the one-to-ones you're going to conduct with everyone, you're going to identify who are the high performers, who are the low performers, and who's kind of in the middle. So if you think about a bell curve, you have the low performers and a standard deviation of those, high performers, and most of the folks are going to be in the middle. All right, so this is where you want to think about who am I going to help move on? Who am I going to write letters of recommendation? Who am I going to support? And I can strategically replace those people. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to try to be liked. Leadership is not about being liked. It's about doing the right thing for the team and for the mission. If you try and be liked, you're going to make bad decisions. You want to try and avoid saving everyone and allowing this very small subset of people that are not right for the team to stay. If someone's not right for the team, you talk to them, you say, hey, I would love to write you the most amazing letter of recommendation and I want to help you move on in your journey. How much time do you think you need? Put the ball in their court. That's a great way to let someone know that they're going to be moving on. You're going to write them a letter of recommendation and you're going to support them in the process. They don't need to panic. They don't need to break things on their way out. And remember, this is a very small subset of the population you're going to do this to because the majority of the team are going to be in the middle or they're going to be high performers because you're going to coach them. And the spotlight for this is LinkedIn Talent Hub. This is where you can explore insights for hiring and succession planning for those new people you're gonna onboard. So wrapping that up to go with your call to action, when you inherit a perceived low performing team, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're in trouble or that they're even low performers. It means that your boss trusts you and that the leadership team trusts you to turn this around and to identify the high performers versus everyone else versus the low performers and to coach them and to create a clear path going forward. Remember that the phoenix rises from the ashes and so can your team. So if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. This is from Sun Tzu. Okay? So your call to action is three very important things. Number one, you want to schedule all of the one-to-ones with everyone, and you want to listen more than you speak. You want to ask everyone, what do you want to do? In a perfect world, where do you see yourself in a year from now? You want to ask them, tell me, how do you think the year has gone so far? Get a feel from them. Understand what they're saying. You want to write down, socialize, and give them visuals of what the new team definition of success looks like. What are the objectives and key results and the measurable results that you need to hit per each quarter? How does that map to the overall team vision, but to the organization and company's vision? And then you're going to use coaching tools like Atlassian's Rovo to help guide the team going forward. Okay. Let me pull this back up. All right. Hey, I'm back. So thank you guys for thinking about what you do when you inherit a perceived low performing team. And what you do very simply is you coach them to success. And thank you guys for joining me on these Wake Up Wednesdays. Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back for showing up every week. You made it, you did it. Good for you. Remember to track towards your outcomes and make progress. Don't just cross off your to-dos. Don't just go from meeting to meeting. And guys, you know I love you. You do not get paid to sit in on meetings all day and not make decisions. Okay, that is not why you get paid. You need to think to yourself, if you're a strategic leader, if you're a strategic manager, and you're just sitting in on meetings all day long and you're not doing anything, then what's the point? Okay? You need to do better. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you do better. Thank you guys. Let's talk again soon and have a great day. Bye bye.